Assalamu alaikum all. So today I'm going to be talking about why halal investing should be boring. Like when you watch the media, it kind of makes you think that investing needs to be really crazy, lots of screens, lots of buying, selling, chatting, all of that sort of stuff. And actually it should be boring in my opinion, and from all the research that I've done. And in today's video, I'm going to explain why. So I just want to say welcome to Simple Muslim Money, which is all about simple halal investing and personal finance for Muslims. Just a quick disclaimer, this is not financial advice and it's just my opinion for entertainment and information purposes. So what do I mean by boring? So typically what most people think of boring is something like an index fund. It averages probably around 7% per year over the long term. Some people might think this is quite a low amount, and this is like a sort of passive investing. You just kind of put your money in there, you just leave it, and there's like an algorithm that just kind of sort of manages it for you. And the reason why I think these investments are good and why there's a lot of research that says that is because investing shouldn't be based on emotion. When you're buying and selling, it's kind of based on emotion as well. Oh no, it's going down, I need to sell. If it's going up, I need to buy. There could be a whole bunch of different factors that are affecting things, and your emotions are, can be quite difficult to control. And also boring is predictable and easier to understand. You just put your money in, just kind of leave it in there for the long term, and generally, you just let it grow and compound, and let time do the work for it. And it's also something that you're more likely to do as well, because it's easy to understand, easier to get into. You just put your money in there and you just kind of leave it. And, it's not dependent on flashy software and screens and things like that and having the best information, and that's something that, you don't need to spend thousands on equipment and coaching and stuff like that. Because if that was the case, then, we'd have no chance against some of these big companies. If it was based on like software and things like that, big companies would be making money all the time. But however, that's not the case, because, some companies have gone out of business and things like that. So, it isn't just because on the media you see something, it doesn't mean that's how investing needs to be. And also long term, boring is shown to be the most effective. So a lot of, when I'm talking about long term, 10, 20, 30 years, just investing in an index fund that's based on, like the US stock market. Nowadays you could get halal ones as well, has been shown to be the most effective way to invest kind of long term. And these things have been running for years and years and years. So yeah, and they actually perform really well compared to some of the sort of funds you might see, some of these more sort of flashy funds, which you might only get 4 or 5 years worth of data. And they might have done well over 4 or 5 years, but how well are they going to do over 10, 20, 30 years? And by having these kind of boring investments, usually they have lower fees. So low fees can have a massive effect on your returns. So basically, even like if you look at, this is from Vanguard, which don't unfortunately offer any Islamic index funds, but yeah, they had a really good web page which said like 2% year fees. So if your fees were just 2% a year, over 25 years, that would wipe out 40% of your returns, which is like crazy. So, fees are really important. I mean, Vanguard offer like really, really small fees, and Islamic index funds and stuff, the fees are not as small, unfortunately. So it's about trying to find the ones with the best fees. And another good thing about boring investment is that you just kind of just set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about it all the time. You don't have to worry about buying and selling. Do I have to check it every day? Do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? And you just kind of just set it and forget it, and just some sort of automated systems and things like that. So yeah, so the next time you think about any sort of investing, don't think it has to be really complicated, really flashy, something that you have to spend a lot of time on. Boring really is the most effective strategy. It just kind of works really well. Now, are all my investments boring? Well, maybe not. Maybe there's a tiny bit, I'll probably say like at least 90%. There's probably a tiny bit that I use where, I buy probably a little bit of crypto, might invest in 1 or 2 other things here, but, I kind of realize those are really kind of high risk, but however, they have got the potential for high reward. So that's why I kind of do invest some money in those. So yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Assalamu alaikum.